The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
The call is now live.
Well, thank you very much, Andrea, and welcome to our Platinum Inside Sales training call. In a few minutes, I'm going to open up the telephone line, so please be responsible for your telephone line. Make sure we don't have any background noise. If you don't have a mute function, you can hit *6 on your phone, and that will mute your phone. But we would like to keep this interactive. I'd like to talk with you instead of at you. So at this point, we're going to have Andrea open up the lines. Andrea?
All lines are open. Please remember to use the *6 feature on your phone if you will not be speaking.
Okay, how's everyone today?
Good. How you doing?
Come on, we can do better than that. How is everyone today?
Super. Okay. Great. We're good.
Okay, I want everyone to say, I love making follow-up calls.
I love making follow-up calls.
Awesome. Now, keep in mind, you're doing these people a service. Okay, they're lucky if they get us, right? That's the attitude you want to have here. This is not cold calling. It's not about pleading for the business on our hands and knees. It's about returning a phone call. It's about qualifying these prospects to see if the prospects are worthy of us. Okay, this is not a situation where we're asking ourselves whether we're worthy of them. It's, are these prospects worthy of us? So we're going to do a few calls here today. As promised, I'm going to put my neck way out in the line and make a couple of follow-up calls live. Anything can happen when I do this. And then what I thought we would do is we would do some role playing and talk about some of the objections you're getting, some of the problems that you're having, and make sure that everybody gets all their questions answered. First of all, do we have anybody that's brand new in this position called Inside Sales?
You. Tracy Walker with Len Wong's office.
Hi, Tracy. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Now, Tracy, what do you think about this? You've been making a few calls now. How long? First of all, how long have you been doing it, and how's things going?
I'm really literally new. I'm just actually starting March 1st, so I'm just kind of doing some of this training and kind of taking the odd ad call here and there, but literally have only taken 1 or 2 calls.
Okay, well, you'll have a fairly easy job calling for Len because Len, as you know, is pretty famous in his marketplace, so people know who he is, and it's really just getting comfortable with the script and understanding what we're trying to accomplish with this script.
Right.
I assume that Len has given you the universal callback script.
You betcha.
Any questions on the script itself?
Not really. It's going to be better when I start actually being able to, follow it and actually do the calls and apply what I think I know into the calls. But I think just listening right now is a huge benefit.
Now, were you on the last call that we did last month?
Unfortunately, the very first one that you did, but not. I think you did one.
Oh, you were on the last one.
Oh, the last one. Okay, yes.
Yeah, we've only done one inside sales call, and you were on that one? Okay.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, good luck, Tracy. I hope you enjoyed today's call. I hope it's helpful. Let's hear from somebody else that's brand new in this position.
Robert Jones.
I'm brand new. I'm Kathy Hoover in Prescott Valley, USA Real Estate.
Hello, Kathy.
Hi.
How long have you been doing this for?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, okay. And how are things going?
I don't know. I haven't made a call yet.
Oh, you haven't been making any calls yet?
No, I've just been sending out stuff so far.
Okay. All right. So what's it going to take to get you on the phone?
A little bit of training.
Craig, this is Blaine.
Hey, Blaine, have you done any training with Kathy so far?
She's actually working with, we have another person who's inside, Diane, and she's been doing the initial calls, and Kathy's helping with follow-up and will soon be doing calls. So Diane's not here with us today.
Great. Okay, so we have a few new people on the line, and of course we have people that have been doing this for a long time on the line. So feel any of you experienced inside salespeople, feel free to step in and share your experience as well. But I thought we'd get started here, and I'll start by just making a few live calls. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so how this is going to work is I'm going to go onto my day timer. I'm going to start calling some of the leads that have come in over the last day or two. Now, I may not reach these people, of course. A lot of the phone numbers I have are home numbers, and I assume the majority of these people have jobs and they're working. but we'll see who we can catch here at home. And obviously, if we have a day number, we'll have a better chance of reaching those people. So I'm going to mute the mics here, and I can do that on my phone, so you'll be able to hear me, but I won't be able to hear you. And then I'll unmute the microphones, and then we'll do an autopsy so we can discuss each call and see what we learn from it. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here we go. The first lady I'm going to call, she emailed me on Wednesday, and she wanted an online evaluation on her home, and she checked off yes to moving within 6 months. Looks like she's got a condo apartment. It says 1,360 square feet. But the key here is she said yes to moving. So it looks like I only have a home number. And I can't even pronounce her name, but I'll take a crack at this. So here we go. I'm going to mute the lines, and I'm going to give this a shot. Okay, well, you heard that. We got it busy. So let's move to the next one. Okay, this next guy's name's Ralph, and he emailed me also for an online home evaluation. This guy checked off no to moving within 6 months. So let's see if we can reach him. Here we go. Okay, we're 0 for 2. Let's try another one here. Okay, here's a lady by the name of Dawn. And actually, her husband had emailed this for an online evaluation. Says yes to moving within 6 months. Here we go. I hope I haven't disconnected you guys.
Hello.
Hello. May I speak to John, please?
Speaking.
Oh, hi, John. It's Craig Proctor with RE/MAX. How are you doing today?
Good.
Great. I received your email. You wanted to get an evaluation of your house?
My wife might have submitted something. She was talking about that the other night.
Yeah, it could have been. I think we've talked to you folks in the past.
Yeah, I think she's gotten a couple of booklets out, and we're deciding whether or not we're going to sell in 05 or whether we're going to push it off again to perhaps later this year or early in 06. So she started to fiddle around a little bit and get a bit of an idea.
Okay, are you going to be staying local or moving out of the area?
No, well, when we do move, we're going to be building up north. We have a cottage up in Huntsville, and we've got another piece of property up there, so we'll be building a home up there.
I see. So you haven't started building it yet then?
No, we have the property and everything else like that. It's just a matter of timing and satisfying what the kids want to do and finishing high school here probably.
So what's your timing on this? Do you think you might do something later this year?
If we can convince the last one to do the last year of high school in September up there, then we'd go this year. But it's looking more and more like they want to finish with high school in Newmarket and go in 06. So, but I think she just wanted to get an idea of what things are like. Should we have a change of heart or something? So I'm not sure if it's going to be. We were thinking initially maybe 6 months or so, somewhere before the start of the school year. But in all likeliness, it's going to be no later than 06.
Okay, and do you have an agent in mind when the time is right?
Not particularly at this point, no.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to email you the houses that have sold on your street and in the area over the last couple months.
Okay.
And is it okay if I follow up with you at a later time?
Sure. Now, I don't know if I have I don't sit at the computer much. My kids do. But if you could, can you mail something out to our address? I'll give you our mailing address.
Yeah, I've got it, 12 Eastman.
12 Eastman Crescent, L3Y5R9.
Okay, so I'll pop it in the mail.
Yeah, if you could, just to get an idea. I know a big part of our decision is just keeping the kids happy and things like that, not so much what the house is worth now or what it'll be worth next year, but in case there's a change of plans, just want to know where we're sitting for like what you figure spring of 05 will bring.
Okay, well, I'm also going to send you our monthly newsletter as well to keep you in touch with what's going on in the area.
Okay, that sounds good.
And would it be okay if I followed up with you at a later time?
Absolutely, yeah.
When do you think it'd be a good time for me to give you a shout back?
Probably maybe before it gets too late into the summer or something like that, maybe around June or July or something like that. And because I know the kids, they have to make a decision on enrolling and selecting their courses for September this month, basically, if we're staying in the area. So I'd like to move. My wife and I would like to move, but we don't want to upset the kids. Let them finish the other one's finished high school. The other one wants to finish 11 this year and do 12 here next year. But so that's a part of our decision. So. Okay, well, I'm going to mail out the information to you, and I'll give you a call back in the summer and follow up with you if I haven't heard from you first. Okay. Great, thanks for your time. Thanks for calling. You're welcome. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, let's do an autopsy on that one. That was, by the way, that was a little longer than I like to be on the phone. I like to be on and off in a couple minutes, but there's a guy that sounds like he's going to do it. He knows exactly what he wants to do, but the timing's not right. Any comments on what you would have done differently there?
No, nothing.
It was good.
Nothing? You like that one?
Yep.
Craig, when will you actually call him back?
He says July, so I'm going to cut that in half. I'm just typing my notes now. My notes, I'm a one-finger typer, okay? So this is, these are not complicated notes. It says, Mr. says, please mail comps. Try July. So I threw a note over to Lori to mail out the information, and then I'm going to cut that in half the time. So I'm going to, I guess, mark a call back for like April.
Craig?
Mm-hmm.
This is Leonard.
Hi, Leonard.
You know what's really nice about you making the call? I'm sitting here with some of my people, and they go, that was too perfect. But what I like about it when you're on the phone is that you call them, and you've got the idea that they're the ones that contacted us first for the information, and you call with no apprehension at all. And that's what I hope my people can pick up from listening to you.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that right straight off on today's call. You shouldn't feel like you're cold calling. You shouldn't feel like you're bothering people. You shouldn't be apologizing for making these calls because, after all, the prospect initiated this with their own on their own volition. All right, let's do another one here. The next guy I have here, his name is Kurt, and he lives in Newmarket, and he also emailed me for an online evaluation. This guy said yes to moving within 6 months. Here we go.
Hi, you've reached Jen Kurt in Little Bed.
Okay, no luck there. Let me just pull up another one here. I'm just trying to find some that have day numbers. Oh, Carol's already beat me to that one. Let's go to today. Let's see what we have on here today. Always better if we have a work number, a cell number. Okay. I think we have a work number here, so let's try this lady. Her name is Carol, and she emailed me for an evaluation of her house. It says no to moving within 6 months. So usually what I find is if it says no, it means no, and if it's yes, it's yes. But I have sometimes converted the no's to yeses. Here we go.
Afternoon, Carol speaking.
Oh, hi, Carol. It's Craig Proctor with RE/MAX. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Great. I just wanted to let you know I received your email, and you wanted to get an evaluation of your house?
Yes.
Are you thinking about putting it up for sale at all?
It's possible. We're not sure yet.
Would you be staying local, you think, or moving out of the area?
Probably local.
Okay. And do you have an agent to help you with that when the time's right?
Not yet.
Would you like me to drop over and have a closer look at the house?
No.
Well, it's free of charge and no obligation to have us drop over. We can give you a much more accurate picture of what the house would sell for.
I was just hoping you could do that over the phone with the info that I gave you. I didn't really want anyone coming by.
But why don't I do this? I'll email you some of the homes that have sold in the area, and they'll come with pictures, addresses, complete descriptions of what they sold for.
Okay.
And would it be okay if I followed up with you at a later time to see if you have any questions?
Not a problem.
Great. Okay. Well, I'll send the information out by email this afternoon.
Okay.
And when do you think it'd be a good time for me to follow up with you?
Well, we really weren't thinking of doing anything right away. Not, probably not even this year. But I don't know. You can call me anytime.
All right. Well, I noticed you checked off here not within the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So why don't I follow up with you towards the summer if I haven't heard from you first and just see how things are going.
Why don't you give me your number anyway?
Sure. I'll give you my direct number.
Sure.
Okay. It's 416-798-7365.
Okay.
And I'll call you back in July if I haven't heard from you first. But if any time you want to get an update on what's going on in the market, just call me or visit our website again, and we can email the comparables out to you.
All right. That sounds great.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your inquiry, and I'll email that information this afternoon.
All right. Thanks, Craig.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Let's do an autopsy on that one. I mean, you know what, though? As soon as they start to get their horns on, I immediately fall back on, you know what, I'm going to send that information out. You don't want, when they say to you, well, I thought I was just going to get this by email. I didn't think anyone was going to call me. If they say any of that kind of stuff, I let them, I just fall back on, well, that's why I'm calling you, to let you know that we're going to send the information out. But I am making that distinction between, hey, do you want just the ballpark figure by email, or wouldn't you really prefer the real accurate assessment that we can only give you by looking at the property? What would you prefer? What you'll find is the prospects that are motivated want the real accurate in-house assessment.
Hey, Craig.
Yes.
It's Jim. How you doing?
Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, the key, I think, for our inside salespeople is, even though she made it very clear that she wasn't doing anything right now, you still went on with the next question. You didn't just drop it. And then as you listened to her tonality and what have you, you switched to the thing about just sending her the information. If you don't ask the extra question, you're never going to know.
Well, I see this person as a future prospect. They're going, they're not going to do it today. They don't want a real estate agent over at their house today or in the next couple of weeks. But their money is good to me 90 days from now.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just doing my one-finger typing here. So I'm just throwing a note over to Lori that says, please email Tom.
Hey, Craig.
Here it goes now. And in the notes, this is what it says. Okay, it's not very elaborate. It says, Mrs. says, please email comps, try 60 days. Like she told me, July, but I'm going to cut that in half. Question?
Hey, Craig, can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's Warren.
Hey, Warren.
Hey, did you ask to put her on the newsletter?
No, I didn't. I didn't, and I probably should have said, would you like to get our monthly newsletter? I'd probably just stick her on anyway.
All right.
But it's a good, if she was saying she was going to do it, but not yet, so I would just throw her on the newsletter. If she was saying she didn't want to move, I would probably ask that question sort of as a good test. Because
okay.
If they decline,
you wouldn't just say, hey, I'm going to put the newsletter. You would ask for that reciprocity, right?
Yeah, if you follow the script, it really says, would it be okay if I sent you my monthly newsletter?
Yeah.
And would it be okay if I followed up with you? And if they say yes to both of those questions, if they answer yes, that's a good sign. If they balk at those, that's not a good sign. So I'll try to do this properly on the next call. All right, let's check out our next one here. This looks good. I think I have a work number here. Here we go. This could be a fake number.
Good afternoon, Tailored Insurance.
Hello, may I speak to Lisa, please?
She's on the phone. Would you like to hold her voicemail?
I'll hold for a few minutes,
May I ask
please.
who's calling?
It's Craig.
Your last name, Craig?
Yes, Proctor.
Thanks, Craig.
Station easy.
Hate giving my last name.
We're drivers too. It's win-win at Esso. Get free lottery tickets with your Esso Extra points.
At Barrymore, we make the most comfortable.
I probably should have just said I'll call back.
I'm Brian Callahan, Barrymore's president, here to invite you to come and see for yourself. Choose from thousands of fabrics.
I'll hold for a couple more seconds.
Clean, simple lines of today's contemporary styling. And you'll save 30 to 50% on everything. At Barrymore, we'll make you the best sofa you'll ever own. Sale ends next Sunday. See today's Globe and Mail or Toronto Star for details.
Okay, I've had enough. I'm bored. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, Richard. Okay, this looks like a home number. Maybe we can reach his wife, though. Here we go. And by the way, let's find out what he's calling in for. Boy, my contact management system is slow today. Okay, this is an email for an online evaluation. Says no to moving within 6 months. Here we go. Did you guys hear that?
Yes.
Nope. I wasn't sure if I disconnected you or not.
Never heard anything.
You didn't hear anything?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Then I didn't do it properly. I apologize.
We
And
weren't the only
you guys just missed the best call.
Oh man.
No, it wasn't a very good one. I forgot to click my headset again, and you weren't connected. So I did call the guy, but I wasn't sure whether I'd done that properly. There's a lot of things to think about here. You know, I'm donking on my computer. I'm talking on the phone. I've got you guys listening to me, and I've got to do the right things with my phone. So, and I'm a very simple guy, aren't I, Jim McLean?
Yes, you are.
This is like way too complicated for me. Okay, so I'm just adding in the notes here. Mr. says, please email comps. He wants me to try him in the fall, but he wasn't doing anything right away. And I did ask about the Market Watch newsletter, by the way, even though you didn't hear me do that. Okay, so I'm just going to throw a note over to Lori to email those comps.
Dad right across the street from his office.
Any buyer calls?
Yes, here's some buyer calls, Craig.
Well, I'm just doing these in the order that they come up here, so don't worry, we'll do them all. We're not getting off the phone till all my calls are done. I've got about 300 to make. So I hope you guys pack the lunch for dinner. Okay, I'm just throwing this over to Lori.
No, like our lead call.
Okay, all right, here's the next one. Okay, this is, hold on, I think this is the lady that we just talked to, right? Put me on hold.
You better stop.
Yeah, that's the lady that stuck me on hold.
Craig, it's Andy.
Hi, Andy.
You've got two with work numbers at Ted and Valley. Couple up from where you are there.
This guy, Ted
Bowles.
Okay, let's try this one.
How does he know that?
Because he's looking at my daytimer.
Oh.
Okay, Ted Bowles. You know, Andy, I'm striking out, so thanks for the help here. Okay, Ted Bowles. Okay, this is another request for an online evaluation. Says yes, and we have a day number. So I've made, how many people have I talked to now? 3 people? It's time to list a house. Here we go.
List the house. Come on, let's do it. Tell her not.
If I get this guy, I'm going to list it.
Speaking.
Hello, Ted.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Ted. It's Craig Proctor with Remax. How are you doing today?
Fine. How are you?
Great. I just wanted to let you know I received your email for the evaluation you wanted on your house.
Yeah. When I sent it, I hadn't completed it. I hit a wrong button, so you might not have received all the information that you should.
Are you thinking about putting it up for sale at all?
No, not really. I just wanted to get an idea of what things were worth in the area.
Okay. I'm going to email you some of the houses that have sold on your street and some of the surrounding streets.
Okay.
I noticed that you checked off yes to moving within 6 months. You think
Well,
that might be the case?
No, that's not the case. No.
No way.
No.
All right. And if you were to move, would you stay local, you think, or out of the area?
Probably local.
But no plans for later this year, eh?
Not for this year. No.
All right, would you like me to follow up with you at a later time at some point?
What the area I'm interested in is Sharon, actually.
Sharon, okay.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, another year or so, that would be fine.
Great. All right. Well, would it be okay if I sent you my monthly newsletter?
Sure.
All right. I'll send that every month.
Like email?
It'll come by mail. The email I send you will have all the comparable properties that have sold.
Mm-hmm.
And the newsletter will keep you in touch with what's happening in the area, but it'll be coming by mail.
Okay, fair enough.
Great. Okay, well, thanks for your inquiry, and I'll send the information out to you today.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. I didn't bring home any bacon there.
The kids are going to go hungry.
Mr. says, yeah, no, this is bad. Mr. says, may move to Sharon. Am I boring you guys with this, or?
No.
Move to Sharon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the comp and stuff.
Please email comps.
Can we
Okay, so I'm just going to throw a note over to Lori to email those comps out to this guy.
I did.
Hey, Andy. It looks like my computer is freezing up. Can you have everyone just log out for a minute?
Sure.
I think that's the problem.
We'll do so.
Craig, we're getting a new Citrix.
Craig, it's Gord here. Do you want us to log right out of Agent?
I don't know what's going on. It's real slow for me. I think it's because everybody's in here.
Okay.
We are getting a new Citrix on March the 2nd. It's going to be upgraded, so it'll be a lot faster for us.
It's the same problem.
Everybody's in right now.
Somebody talking to or in the office making calls to.
Okay, let's move on. You guys still having fun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here's I don't know, lady, Valley must be a lady. Okay, email request says yes to moving within 6 months, and I have a work number. So let's hope we hit some pay dirt here.
Follow-up. That's what they call the database.
I'm just going to mute your mics. Can you hear me?
I already have Craig.
Well, thank you, Andrea. You're most efficient.
Morning, phone.
Hello, may I speak to Valley, please?
Valley speaking.
Oh, hello. It's Craig Proctor with RE/MAX. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Great. I received your email. You wanted to get an evaluation of what your house would sell for?
Yeah, just idea.
Are you thinking about putting the house up for sale at all?
It depends. What's the price going to be?
All right. Well, would you like me to drop over? It's free of charge and no obligation to have us drop over.
No, if you can give me an approximate price on the phone, it will be fine.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to email you some of the houses that have sold in the area, and they'll come with pictures and addresses and a description.
Beautiful. And then we'll go from there. If I'm going to be interested, I'll give you a call.
Let me ask you this. If you were to move, would you stay local or move out of the area?
Pardon me?
Would you stay local, you think, or move away?
No, I have to be there around. I'm just looking at the new houses around there, and I want to see how much I can sell my house, just in case that I get something back there.
So you're thinking of buying a new house then?
Yes.
And if you do sell, do you have a real estate agent to help you when you're ready?
Yeah.
You've already got somebody in mind?
No.
No, okay. Well, would it be okay if I followed up with you at a later time?
Well, just send me an email, and I'll send you back an email, and I'll keep in touch with you.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to send you the email this afternoon.
Okay.
But would you like me to call you maybe back in a week or a couple months just to follow up? And
in a couple of months is fine.
A couple months, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. Well, thanks for the inquiry.
Thanks, Greg. Bye-bye.
All right. What's the feedback on that one?
Tough room, Greg. It's a tough room.
She's going to sell, and she doesn't want to be closed.
Okay, Mrs. says buying new.
She's a D.
Craig?
Hey, Craig.
Yep.
You gave her, she really didn't want you to call back, but you gave her a choice, and she took the lesser of two evils. That was great.
She did say call back.
Well, she said she was going to call me. Are you guys saying that you don't believe her?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
What do you think the odds of her calling me back if I don't call her back?
1 in 11,000.
Yeah,
good.
Not very good.
1 out of 11,000.
Okay, so she was pretty standoffish, but she started to get her horns on, like, hey, I just want the email information. I backed down. I said, okay, we're going to email that out to you. In other words, I'm going to keep my promise, and we're going to commit to sending that information. And that usually diffuses any problems you're having. As soon as you offer to send them what they want, the reason they get their horns on is they think that it's some kind of scam, that you're advertising to email them the properties and you're not going to do this, and somehow they've been tricked. So as soon as I let them know that I'm going to do exactly what I promised to do, then I really find it diffuses that, and I'm able to get on with the rest of my qualifying questions.
Craig, this is Charlene from Danny Griffin's office. How are you?
Hi, Charlene.
I wanted to ask, why aren't you trying to get them on the buy side?
Well, she's buying a brand new house, and the builders here don't cooperate.
What about Ted?
Ted, well, he didn't sound like he was going to do anything in the next 6 months.
Oh, okay.
So I just didn't think the timing. Like if he said, well, I'm going to do something the next couple months, I would have asked, well, would you prefer to buy first or sell first? And then I would have went down that road. But I haven't had anybody that wants to do anything right now.
Okay.
So that's why I haven't pitched any of my offers, because, I don't really want to be emailing people information for, 6 months before they're going to act.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping, is to get somebody that wants to buy a house sometime in the next 10 years.
Hey, Craig.
Yep.
It's Warren again. When you send that email out, does the gal, does she put anything in the message specifically? I mean, she put anything like the script, we'll give you tips on what to do, what not to do, blah, blah, blah?
No, we just email there's a note saying, here's the information you wanted on sales in your area.
And that's it?
That's it.
Okay.
So he's just.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my contact management system. Since I've had, what I did, everyone, is I moved 3 of my inside salespeople to a satellite office, and I don't even know if my inside sales guys know this, but since I did that, it's been really slow for me getting into the office. So I'm upgrading the Citrix system here. I'm spending like another $17,000 on this system, and it will be lightning fast, and it will handle 10 simultaneous users. It'll be good.
I must have got your link, Craig, because mine always works nice and fast.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm on a wireless high-speed internet connection too.
Yeah.
Craig,
that doesn't help. Yep, go ahead.
with USA and Prescott, how come you didn't offer to send a monthly newsletter?
I don't know. She just wasn't nice on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going to get her.
Okay.
I don't know. What was your impression? She didn't seem to be too receptive.
No, she didn't.
No, but I think you still have a shot.
Mm-hmm. I'll follow up with her. It's worth the call. Do I want to invest $1 every month in a newsletter with her? I don't know.
Leave that on if it helps.
You'll have to decide that.
Leave that on. We want to turn up the phone.
Thank you.
No, it's all right. Go ahead and stay there. No problem.
Craig?
Yep.
Hey, Doug James. How you doing?
Hi, Doug.
Just a quick question. When you have your ISA send her out the comps, do you have her put any USP with that?
No, that's pretty much done on the telephone. And that's what we're going to work on with these Dan Kennedy letters, is what else should we be emailing or mailing out to these leads? Because it does make sense that, we all have good stories to tell. We should be emailing them and mailing them out information to predispose them to using us, especially the ones that we're able to book appointments on. Before we show up for a listing appointment or a buyer appointment, they should know a little bit about us and why we're different and better than other agents they're speaking to.
Well, as your apprentice, Craig, I think that would be probably a good idea to put something as far as the USP goes.
Well, we're going to, when we get together in, what is it now, 10 days? When we get together, you're going to see some pretty good copy that Dan Kennedy has created for us.
Great, and thanks, Craig.
As a group, we're going to have to decide exactly how we're going to use that, whether they're going to be emails, mailers. I think we're going to use it for all of the above. Okay, let's go to our next one here. I'm not sure if this is male or female, but the name is Chris. They emailed me for an online home evaluation, and I don't know whether this is a day number or an evening number, but here we go.
all set.
No,
It looks like Andrea is muted your lines. Thank you, Andrea.
Hello.
Hello, may I speak to Chris, please?
Speaking.
Oh, hi, Chris. It's Craig Proctor with RE/MAX. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good.
Good. I received your email. You wanted to get an evaluation of your house?
Yes.
Are you thinking about putting it up for sale at all?
Yeah, might be, yeah.
Okay, and are you going to be staying local, you think, or moving out of the area?
I don't know yet. See, I just want to know first if it's, if it's worth selling it now.
If it was worth, if the price is right for you, do you think you'd stay local or move away?
Local.
Local, okay. All right. And do you have a real estate agent to help you when the time is right to sell your home?
I have a real estate agent friend.
A friend, eh?
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's a big difference between real estate agents and what they do to get your home sold and how much they charge you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be open to interviewing agents to find the best person for you?
I don't know. This is the first time that I will, all I want to know right now is how much is the property worth, and if it's, if it's,
sure, you want to know what it's worth. Would you like me to drop over and have a closer look at the house?
Mm-hmm. I thought you have some idea already.
Well, I can email you some of the houses that have sold in the area, but I can give you a much, more accurate assessment as to what your house is worth if we have a look at it. What do you think you'd prefer?
I think I just need an email. I don't want, because I'm always out anyway. So
okay, I'm gonna email you the information, and they'll come with pictures, addresses, and what the houses are selling for. And would it be okay if I followed up with you at a later time?
Sure. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
When do you think it'd be a good time for me to give you a call back?
I don't know. I'm on the hunting stage right now for a job. That's why, I'm almost always out.
Right.
So,
So, do you think you might be making a move in the next couple months at all?
It depends. I'm still I have to consult my wife, stuff like that, and
Well, look, I'm going to do this. I'm going to email you this afternoon the houses that have sold in the area, and I'll follow up with you in a few days to see if you have any questions and see if this is something you want to pursue.
Sure.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks for your time today.
Okay, then. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
That's a distress sale if I ever heard one.
What's that?
I think all of our clients have moved up your way. That's a distress sale if I've ever heard one. No job, and he's got to sell.
Well, look, I just want everyone to know I deal with the same stuff that you guys deal with.
Oh, my market's different.
Yeah. Now, you see, I can't win here because if I had have called 3 or 4 and nailed them all, you guys would have said, hey, this is fixed. It was a setup, right? So I want you to get a flavor for what I deal with. It's, the same types of calls that you deal with. Okay, so I'm going to type my notes. Mr. says, please email comps. He wants to see the comps first. Try 2 days. And Andy, I'll give this one over to you. Okay, so over to Andy. And then I'm going to throw a note over to Lori to email the comps. Please email comps. Okay, is there anything anybody would have done differently there? Or am I perfect?
Peggy, can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Be honest, one of the things I might have done different is get to the offer a little faster. And I don't, and I'm not necessarily meaning that critically so much as it's just offering to get him an exact value on his home, what it will sell for, talking about different ways of marketing it, things to do and not to do to get it ready.
I'll tell you why I didn't do it. I was afraid he might say yes, and then I might show up, and then the guy, isn't going to do anything. It's a waste of my outside sales agent's time.
Oh, okay. What indicated to you that it would have been a waste?
He has a friend.
Well, he said he had a friend. He said he didn't know what he was going to do.
Talk to us.
I asked Okay, the first question I asked him is, are you thinking of selling your home? And he waffled on that. If they say, well, yes, actually I am, and it's funny you called, then I'm going to go for the kill right away.
Okay, great.
So there is a method to this. The very first thing I asked him is, are you thinking of selling your house? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And what was his response to that?
It was wishy-washy.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, at that point I can go two ways. I can go right into the offer, but what if the guy says yes? Then one of my outside sales agents come back and they're like, hey, Craig, nice appointment. This guy's never moving, or he's not moving for 6 months. He doesn't even have a job.
That's a very good point.
Right? So I don't think they would have been very impressed.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Okay, let's.
Craig, it's Gil. Can you hear me?
Hey, Gil, how's it going?
Great. Question for you. Do you use the stay in contact system on the ConsulNet website, and when would you use it? With some of these people that are very non-committal and seem to be a longer time out, would you put them on that stay in contact system?
I don't. I probably should. What Gil's talking about is there is an electronic email follow-up newsletter that you can sign them up to. That's what you're referring to, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and actually, you could have that set up. Maybe you do, Gil, that any of the email leads that come in automatically receive that?
That's I don't have them automatically. I talk to them first, or if they're out of the area, I just put them on automatically myself. But
okay, well, you could have Steve Rate set that up so it happens automatically.
Yeah.
I don't do it, but they can manually be. I used to do it actually, and then I stopped. But you can manually have those email addresses typed in, and that way they would be getting an email newsletter from you, the paper newsletter in the mail, plus the follow-up phone calls and goal plan and whatever else you're sending.
The reason I don't send them, everyone that responds on the website doesn't get that stay in contact system is because I didn't want to give that information to all my prospects that are dealing with competitors, right? Unless I spoke to them, send it to them. Right.
Yeah, I think what we, eventually what we need to come up with is we need to come up with an email sequence that will just go out to the good ones, and we'll have an email sequence and we'll have a mail sequence that's even stronger than Gold Plan.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Well, somebody's finding my call entertaining anyway.
That's Maria.
Okay. Look, what we're going to do now is we're going to call a lady by the name of Debbie. And she lives in Hollow Landing. This is also another email request for an online evaluation. Now, remember, this is not unusual that these types of leads are being given to me because these are the leads that I want to call. So I say to Lori and Catherine, I want certain leads. So the online home evaluation leads I want. Why? Because I find they're of extremely high quality, even though we haven't nailed one yet. But I don't know how many people have I actually spoken to.
That's 4 or 5.
4 or 5 people, right? So it's not like, if I get this next one, that's 1 in 6. So that's still pretty good. All right. So let's see if Debbie's home. Hang on.
Called her in a day.
I hope she is home because she says yes to moving. Okay, no answer. Okay, this next guy's got a good name, Craig. Let's call Craig. He emailed us for an online evaluation, says yes to moving. Here we go. Okay, we'll do a few more of these and then we'll go into role playing.
Hello?
Hello, may I speak to Craig, please?
I'm sorry, he's not here right now. May I take a message?
Is this his wife?
No, this is his daughter.
His daughter, okay. Do you know what time your dad will be in?
I actually think he might be going out of town.
You don't have his work number or cell number handy, do you?
Yes, I do. It's 416.
416, yep.
587.
Oh, hang on a second. I'm a one-finger typer. 416.
587.
587.
9035.
9035.
That's his cell.
His cell, okay. Great. Okay, thanks for your time.
No problem.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye-bye. I love the kids. They always give me the numbers. Okay, here we go.
The customer you have attempted to contact is currently unavailable. Please try again.
Okay, is everybody else doing that? If this is a good time to call. We're about 10 to 3 my time. Kids are all coming home from school. Mom and dad aren't home. Great way to get alternate numbers for the parents. Ask the kids. Awesome. You guys still there?
Yep.
Okay, let's see what else we have. Hey, Andy or Gord, do you have any buyer calls I can call? Anything with day numbers? I'm just talking to my inside sales guys. If you guys have anything that's different than an online home evaluation, I think that's what our people here would like to hear. They'd like to hear me actually, A, talk to somebody, and B, call somebody that's not an online home evaluation, right?
Yeah, distress sale.
Distress sale. So if you guys have anything like that, I can look up and call.
Yeah, we'll just have to log back in here.
Okay, well, I'll give you guys a few minutes to do that. And while you guys are trying to find some other leads for me to call, let's do some role playing. Who wants to be my first victim? I meant volunteer. Yeah,
I'll go for it.
Okay, who's this?
Ray.
Ray?
Yes.
Okay, Ray, and who do you work with?
Remax, Ray Valley in New
it's
Jersey.
Ray Valley, okay. I didn't recognize you, Ray. All right, what do you want to be, buyer or seller?
Let me be an agent.
You're going to be the agent, okay? Then
Online home evaluation?
Okay. And you want me to be the seller?
Sure.
Okay, ring.
Go ahead, ring. Hi, is Mr. Proctor available?
Speaking.
Hi, this is Ray Valley from Remax. How are you?
Hi, how you doing?
Good. The reason I was calling you is because I received your request for the online home evaluation, and I just wanted to let you know I was going to be sending that over to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. That's why I filled it in.
Great. Are you thinking about making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, we're thinking about it.
And if that happened, would you be staying in the area, or do you think you'll be moving out of the area?
We're going to stay local.
Okay. When do you think that might happen?
I don't know. I guess I need to know what my place is worth first, and then we'll have to decide whether we're going to do this.
Okay. And when the time is right, do you have a realtor to help you?
We have the guy that sold us the place, but I haven't really been in touch with him.
Okay.
That's the only guy we know.
Okay. Would you prefer to look for a new house before selling your house, or would you like to sell your house before you find the next one?
I think I'd probably want to sell my place first.
Okay. When do you think would be a good time for us to get together? Maybe I can stop by your house. Instead of giving you an over-the-net home evaluation, I can give you more concrete numbers, and we can discuss the closing cost and all the other costs incurred in selling your home.
Hey, Ray, I don't know if I'm ready for that quite yet. Can't you just email me what my place is worth?
Oh, I can do that, and I will do that this afternoon. It's not a problem. But what I can do is, if I can come by the house, I can give you a more definite picture of what your home would be worth in today's market.
Well, why don't you do this? For starts, why don't you send me the information, and I'll check it out, and if I'm interested, I'll give you a call back.
Great. I'll send that over to you this afternoon. When do you think would be a good time for me to follow up, just to make sure you got all the information and you went through it?
Give me a couple of days to check it out.
Okay, great. I'll give you a call back on Monday. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yep, that's fine.
Great, thanks.
Okay. Now,
I didn't want to be too pushy at the end there.
That's good. That's good. I was being a bit of a jerk, but that was good because at that point when I start to get my horns on, that's when you're backing off, and you made the right decision. Just send me the information. Now, you follow up with me in 2 days, and it could be a completely different ball game with me.
Yep.
I've looked at the information. I don't think this is a scam. You actually did send me the information. I appreciate your time. You've created a bit of reciprocity, and now I'm a bit more open to you.
Great.
Or I'm still a jerk 2 days later, and I might be a guy that you want to scratch off your list at that point.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, nope, that was you played that one properly in my eyes.
Thanks.
The only other thing I might add to the end of it is when you said I'll follow up with you, and I haven't been doing this today. Sometimes you forget what you do, but a good thing to ask is, you said when would be a good time for me to follow up with you? Is Monday okay? And when I said yeah, Monday's fine,
I try to book a time. Well,
maybe what you should have said is, do you have an alternate number? Do you have a day number or a cell number that I can reach you at? Because, obviously that's going to make it easier for you if you have many numbers.
Well, normally what I would try to do is I would try to book a time when, Monday when's a good time to get back to you? In the evening, or would you like me to call you at your home office?
Most of them would say, well, Monday night when I get home from work.
Okay. Or I would ask them.
At that point, I'd say, well, do you have a day number so I can reach you Monday during the day?
Yeah.
A work number, a cell phone number. Now, sometimes I'll say, well, look, I don't want to be called at work. I just prefer you call me at home. But sometimes they say, okay, here's my work or cell number. And the objective here is try to get as many day numbers as possible, because that way you can be, a lot more efficient.
Yeah.
The bottleneck in our business is trying to make all these calls in the evenings. Our objective here should be trying to get as many day numbers as possible.
So that you can make some of the calls during the day.
Yeah, absolutely, especially if they seem receptive. I was a bit of a jerk on that one, so I may not have been the kind of guy that would have given you.
No, that's what I'm used to.
Right, but if let's say that I'm really receptive and I seem like I'm really open to you, especially with those prospects, you want to be asking for day numbers, and then I code those black on my contact manager so they fall to the bottom of my day timer, and those are the ones I call during the day. And this is what I'm teaching my inside sales guys to do as well, because I don't know. Let's hear from my inside sales. How many calls do you have to make at night?
Zillion.
Yeah, a gazillion, right, Andy? So whatever you can make during the day, like if you can make 30% of your calls during the day, you're going to become 30% more efficient.
Definitely.
Like our problem and your problem now, or soon to be your problem, is you will not be able to call them all.
I got that problem already.
I'm going to the Keller Williams conference. I'm speaking there next week, so I leave on Saturday, and my inside sales people are going to have to pick up the slack. But I'm now, I don't know, what am I, 400 behind right now, Andy?
Something like that.
400 behind. I probably have 100 on today's. And Andy, you've been with us now for how many months?
Just a month and a half.
Month and a half, and you're how many behind?
I'm 46 behind.
Right. Okay, and by the time I get back, you'll be 200 behind.
Exactly.
And it'll be like that forever. If you talk, Carol, are you with us?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Carol, you're how many leads behind at any given time?
A couple of hundred.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. So what we're trying to do is be as efficient as possible. Obviously, if you know you can't call them all, you try to work with the best ones first. So you try to prioritize them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do another role play.
Craig, can I ask a question?
Yep.
How many leads are you currently getting, and how many inside salespeople do you have now handling?
There's right now we have 4 inside salespeople plus me, so I'm the 5th one.
And what's your lead volume?
We generate 1,000 to 1,500 leads a month.
Hey, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, it's Jim. Hey, my inside salesperson's wanting to know that she has difficulty getting them to set the appointment when they come in to buyers, but then a lot of times they don't show up. Her question is, what can she do to get more of them to come in the door?
Okay, well, first of all, you need to make sure that the appointment is set as close to now as possible. So,
right.
Particularly with first-time buyers, if you're talking to someone today and the buyer appointment's not for a week down the road, there's a really good chance they're going to forget about it or not show up. But if you routinely have buyers not showing up, really what that tells you is they don't see the benefit of doing so. Okay, if they were coming in to pick up a check for $10,000, do you think they'd forget about that? So you've got to make sure that the benefit sounds huge, that they really understand what's in it for them.
Can you role play that, Craig?
The buy first offer?
Yeah. In other words, try to give us some sort of a line or some sort of a script that might facilitate it, other than, because she reads it pretty much verbatim, where they want to come in to buy, and she sets the appointment. You said,
Well, I think what's important, Jim, is at the end of the conversation, does she feel that they understand the benefit? Because sometimes it's worth repeating the benefit. So you might say something like this. So, okay, I've got you set for, we've got the appointment set for Thursday at 7 o'clock. And what we're going to do at this appointment is we're going to take down your exact criteria. We're going to email you every day all the new homes that match your home buying criteria, including any bank foreclosures, distressed sales, any company-owned properties. That'll give you the ability to beat out other buyers to all the hot new listings. And, of course, there's no cost or obligation.
Okay.
So just, making sure you don't just get off the phone without them clearly understanding it. And I will take the time, if I feel they don't really get it, to repeat that offer. and repeat the time and give them directions to the office to make sure they really understand, why they need to show up and how to get there, and they understand what time they're supposed to be there at.
Thank you.
Okay, Andy, or Gordon, or Carol, do you have any hot leads for me to call?
Not a good answer.
Anything with a day number?
There's a couple on Catherine's day timer for today.
That's a good idea.
Buyer leads, but I don't got anything personally.
All right, let me go over to my wife's day timer, because they go to her first, as you know, and then she doles them out. So, yeah, there's a whack of them here. Okay, let's see what we have. What do you guys want? Distress sale?
There you go.
VIP buyer.
Okay. All right, here's a distress sale. I'm just trying to find something with a work number. And I'm also trying to find somebody's a name that I can pronounce as well. Okay, here's somebody that's emailed for the for sale by owner report. I'll give you the choices, and you can tell me which ones you want. Okay, here's somebody that's emailed for the area home sales report. Let's try this guy. Here we go. I need to book an appointment. I don't think this guy's home. Okay, we'll move to the next one. This next guy, Hubert, he called for the for sale by owner report. Here we go. Report number 1, that's a good sign. Not home. Okay, here's another request for the area home sales report. Mrs. Yerlich, I think it is. Here we go. But you can see the problem in the day. It's tough to reach people. Well, that's a bogus number. That's a fax number. Okay, here's a guy that's called for the new homes report. Let's try this one. It's an apartment he's calling from, too, so he's a first-time buyer. So this will be a buyer, not a seller. I'll have to tell these people to stay home next time for our convenience. Okay, that's a home number. Okay, let's try this one. This lady's name is Kristen. I've talked to her before. I don't know if that's good or bad because she's not on the system. I think we probably deleted her. So this could be good. Maybe she'll tell me off, and you guys can heckle me later. Okay, she's called in for the area home sales report. Here we go. Kristen.
Hello, you reached 895-5439, please.
Okay. Here's a distress sale. Her name is Louise. Here we go. Hello, may I speak to Louise, please?
This my place.
Louise? You want to call back? I don't know.
Yeah, she'll be right there.
Thanks.
Hello.
Hello, Louise?
Yes.
Oh, hi, it's Craig Proctor with Remax. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good. I received your email. You wanted to get some distress sale information.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about buying a house?
Yes.
And is this going to be to live in or for an investment?
No, to live in.
To live in, okay. And do you have a real estate agent to help you find a place?
No.
You don't, okay. All right. Would you like us to email you every day all the new listings that match your criteria?
No, once a week would be just perfect.
Once a week, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and something close to, not necessarily what I put.
Okay.
You know, I think I put 2-bedroom if there's 3 or 4 bedrooms, but it's just the base anyway. That's what I thought that I put into the email.
And do you own a house now that you'll be selling as well?
Yes.
Okay. And do you prefer to sell your existing house first or buy your next place before you sell?
We don't know. We don't know because we've been looking for some times and I couldn't find anything I want.
How long
I
you been?
decide, okay, I'm going to go with this and find out what's on the market anyway.
Right. How long have you been looking for a house?
6 months.
6 months, okay. Well, here's what we should do. Why don't we get together and we can take down exactly what you're looking for?
No, not really. Not yet anyway.
Well,
I'm not
rather than me emailing you homes that don't match your criteria or missing out on the perfect one, if we can get together, we can take down exactly what you're looking for.
No, I'm not ready for that yet.
You're not, eh?
No.
All right, well, look, I will email you a snapshot of what's on the market now, but you see, a lot of these distress sales, they go very quickly.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
And if you want to get a good deal, what we need to do is we need to have a method of getting you priority notification to these new listings as soon as they come on the market.
Yeah.
And
but no, that's all right. If you send me once a week, it'll be fine.
Okay, well, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you today. But to get them on an ongoing basis, I think we should really get together if you decide you want that, just so we're not emailing you 100 homes or missing out on the perfect ones.
Okay. Anyway, I'll let you know.
Okay, and would you also like at some point to get a free evaluation of your house to know what it would sell for?
No, not yet.
Not yet,
Not yet. No.
Okay, well, I'll email you what's on the market today, and would it be okay if I followed up with you at a later time?
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure.
When do you think it'd be a good time for me to give you a call back?
Well, probably in 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
So you've been looking for 6 months. You think it'll be another 6 months before you do something?
Oh, maybe we won't move. Maybe we'll be moving in 2 years. I don't know. That's why I'm taking my time. We're not in a rush at all.
Well, you know, if you got all the right information as soon as they come on the market, you probably would be able to find that right house.
Yeah, probably. But maybe I'm not ready for the right house yet. I'm looking for the market, and that's all there is.
Okay. Well, when you want to get priority access to the new listings that come on the market on a daily basis, give us a shout, and we'll be happy to set you up.
All right. Well, thank you very much for calling.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. What'd you think of that one?
What a waste.
Okay. I knew that coming into it. Okay. Check this out. This lady was on my system from back 2002. Here's my notes on. I hope I'm off the other line here. Let me make sure I am. Hang on. Yeah, I don't want her to hear this. Okay. October 8th, 2002. Here's my notes. Mrs. is a hard old nut. Okay. Then she emailed this for she emailed this for foreclosure properties a couple months after that, and then I dudded it again. D-U-D. That just means I'm not going to pursue her. And same thing here. She tells me she's been looking for 6 months. I offer her a method of getting priority notification. She's not interested. Well, she's interested, but she doesn't want to get together. And then when I ask her if it's okay to follow up and ask her when I should call her back, she says another 6 months. So I choose not to work with this one.
Is that why you were pushier than normal?
It's,
I know she's not telling me the truth.
Yeah.
Are you going to waste your time sending or anything?
Right. So I'm going to press it to try. I'm pressing it because my attitude is either tell me the truth or I'm going to never follow up with you again.
Right.
So I'm going to press it a little harder.
Craig, can you hear me?
Yep.
This is David. I'm with Jeff Thompson's help team out here in Sonoma County. Since you had so much history on this woman, why wouldn't you have brought that up just to bring it to light with her that, she's sort of just, running you around?
Well, since it was back in 2002, it's been 3 years, If it was 2 weeks ago, I would have reminded her, hey, we talked 2 weeks ago. But since it was 2 years ago, I thought, well, maybe things have changed with her. Okay. But obviously they haven't.
Well, it's interesting because I have that happen. I run the customer service here on the team. And it seems like we get somebody that'll hit the website. We go through the call pattern, for a good 6 weeks. They'll go to dead, and then 3 months later they'll do exactly the same thing. And we're sending them listings, but yet we're not getting any action from it. So at one certain point, I just try to find out what it is that they're getting out of this, or are they just getting the jollies because they're getting listings, or are they plan to do something?
Well, I think most of them are the plan to do it. I mean, why would they want this specific type of information unless they had some plans on buying or selling? So I think this lady probably wants to do it. But I made a mistake on this call. Did anyone catch what I did incorrectly?
Call her.
Besides calling her.
That's because she was working with an agent.
No, that's not a mistake. What did I do incorrectly on this call?
Ask her if she wanted it.
Start to pitch the home evaluation.
Get her to say she wanted it.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if anybody caught this, but the mistake I made, instead of articulating the offer, I talked about the commitment. I said, when can we get together so we can, I made a mistake that I usually catch you guys making.
Craig, it's Gord here. You've been doing that the whole time.
Pardon?
It sounds as though you've been doing that on every call.
Well, no, I've only talked to one or two buyers, so I wouldn't have done that on the other calls because they were all sellers I was talking to. I would have been making a seller offer.
But you were offering to go over to their house rather than offering why you would go over to the house.
Well, no, I'm saying, would you like us? Are you thinking of selling the house? I was asking them, and if they said yes, and they seemed very affirmative about yes, and they weren't waffling, then I would come back with, well, when would be a good time for us to get together so I can have a closer look at your house? If they balk at that, okay, then I know there's a problem. If they take me up on that, I want to further qualify them because it's always easier for me to get rid of an appointment.
Okay.
So I don't think I did those ones incorrectly, but in this particular case, I said, when can we get together so I can take down all of your information? And I didn't do it the right way. Does everyone understand what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Craig, in the back of your mind, were you really trying to get her as an appointment, or because you saw your note, you were just not trying?
I knew before I dialed the number that this likely wasn't going to be a successful call, but I think there is value in calling the tough ones too, right?
So, I mean, a lot of times what we try and do, Craig, is identify what they're searching for. So it sounds like you're looking for a good deal. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And how are you conducting your search? Are you using the books and the newspapers? And then
right.
we go from there.
That's right.
So the feature versus the benefit is, well, our system actually only sends you houses that are for sale, instead of you looking through the books and finding houses that have already been sold.
Yeah, and I probably should have been stronger on that because she'd already told me she's been looking for 6 months. So I probably should have said, well, obviously then your way isn't working.
Where?
But she kept going back. She kept going back to saying something silly like, I don't know if I'm ready to find the right house yet.
Right. I'm not saying she would have been a great appointment, but I think if we wanted to get the appointment, I think what I would have done was discuss quickly how she's looking and how looking with me would be better.
Yes, what you're doing in that approach is you're really eliminating every other way of obtaining information.
Right.
Right. If you're talking because
I'm just trying to set myself apart from what she's doing as being better.
Right, because sometimes when you pitch the buyer offer, they'll say, you know what, thanks, but no thanks, Rick, because I'm on MLS.ca, I'm on Realtor.com, or I search through the newspaper, I drive through neighborhoods. So it's your job now to tell them what's wrong with that.
I appreciate what you're saying, Craig, but did you know that MLS.ca is 7 or 8 days behind the times?
That's right. Right. So because a lot of them think that they can get on the internet and they can get the same information. So, I really don't need your service. You've got to tell them what's different and better about your buyer service than looking on the internet.
Right. Which is what we try and do. When you tell a prospective buyer that we're going to link them to the realtor side of the MLS In fact, they'll feel as if they're a realtor on my team getting listings. Their eyes go wide.
No, good point.
Hey, Craig.
Yep.
Doug James again. Quick question, since you already knew that this gal was a hard person, set in her ways and stuff, and
a hard old nut was a
hard old nut.
Yes.
And she told you that she just wasn't ready. Would it be a good idea maybe to ask a person at that point what has to happen in your life that would make you feel ready to buy or sell?
What really concerns
I have an answer for that.
What really concerns me about this lady is she's been requesting information now for 2 or 3 years and she hasn't done anything. And when I said to her when would be a good time to follow up, she said 6 more months. So I just don't think she's a good fit with me. And that's okay. And that's really the purpose of our calls, is to determine who's going to be a good fit with us. If it's true that you're generating all of these leads, you don't have time to work with them all. If you're smart, you spend most of your time with the good ones. So I just don't think she's the best of what we have to work with right now. But right. Andy, I'm going to throw her over to you anyway.
Lucky me.
We'll see how Andy does in 2 weeks. So I
can still type dud, right?
Yeah, you can still type that, but give her one more shot. We work them. We'll work it to death and see what happens. But if it hasn't changed by the time you talk to her in a couple weeks, then I think it's time to delete her. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, here we go. This is another distress sale.
And thank you for calling Amtruck. To leave a message for Peter Levy, dial 222, Russell Levy 223, Chris Graham 224, Jennifer Hinks 230, Kathy Large 232, Fred Abbott or Reg Hills, please dial 235, or to leave a message in.
One moment, please.
It's obviously a work number.
Jen speaking.
Hello, may I speak to V. Clark, please?
I think you might have the wrong number.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, wrong number on that one. Do you believe that people would lie to us? You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right, well, look, I think our time is best spent doing a few role plays. I sort of suspected this would happen, that we wouldn't reach a lot of people during the day.
Hey, Craig, let's do one at night.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, well, you guys open to that?
Absolutely.
Sure. Or you could record some.
Another live call at night. Night.
Yeah, I think it's better if we do them live, though, because then we can do an autopsy after every call.
Well, if you recorded them, we could talk about them after you played them. And that way you could just...
Do it live. We get to record.
Yeah, but if it's just me doing the autopsy, I don't get to sort of discuss it with you guys.
No, I was thinking you do calls at your leisure, wait until you get a few good ones, play them for us, and then we do the autopsy. The only difference is that you're playing them as a recording rather than having to make 10 or 20 calls to find a good one.
Well,
you talk about them right after you play them.
That's what we already sent out to you, wasn't it? Was a tape of me doing the calls? So it'd just be more of what you already have.
Well, I wasn't thinking you're sending them out. I was thinking you're playing them live on the phone for us.
Let's do a live call evening.
I think live's best.
All right, well, you guys decide. I'll do whatever you want.
Evenings.
Let's see, operator, why don't we just get together on a Saturday?
Saturdays. There you go.
Okay. No Saturdays.
Okay, let's take some more. We can either do more questions or we can do some role plays, whatever you prefer.
Hey, Craig.
Yep.
It's Warren again. I had a question. We had a guy, he emailed us free over the net. I got back to him within maybe 3 hours of him emailing us. He had 2 agents that he already met with. It was an estate sale for his brother. I followed up, pitched him, and he didn't want to meet with anybody else. And I gave him the thing, well, there's a big difference between what realtors do and how much they charge. And he still wouldn't meet with me. Is there something else I could have said or done to make that happen? And he wanted to He wanted a decision made by Saturday. I tried to meet with him for tomorrow, and he just wouldn't have it. I mean, I know I'm not going to get everybody, but is there something else I can do?
Well, I would say this. Is it important for you to sell your home for the most amount of money?
Okay.
Then why would you want to list your house with just an ordinary agent when you can list your house with me?
That's only slightly arrogant, but I like it. That's okay.
I mean, if you are open, if you seriously want to sell your home for the most amount of money, then you should meet with me, because there's a big difference between just selling your house and doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah, his thing was, I didn't expect a cold call. He said, and I said, well, it wasn't a cold call. We did get an email from you, and he's just kind of throwing off the process.
I'm following up on your inquiry.
Right. Okay. All right. So just get arrogant with it a little bit.
Well, what it comes down to is, do you want to sell your house for the most amount of money? That's what they all listen to WFM, right?
Right.
Do you want to sell your house for the most amount of money? Then why wouldn't you want to meet with me?
Right.
Because that's what I'm all about, is getting you the best result. Anybody can sell it, but don't you want to do it right? You got to create doubt.
Yeah, and that would be a bit of a hard sell, and I think that might have worked. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a big difference between agents, what they do, and how much they charge you to get the job done.
Right. Do you want to do it right?
Yeah. Do you want to sell for not enough and pay too much to get the job done?
I like
okay. Next question or comment.
Do a role play.
All right. Who's my volunteer?
Jolene.
I mean, let's talk about specific problems you guys are having.
You have any? Oh, you gotta have them, right?
Like, what area do you guys really need help in?
Getting people home.
Okay, well, we've talked about how to do a better job of reaching people. You need to code the day calls black, so you can reach more during the day, and you need to be efficient in the evening. And you'll notice that I don't spend a lot of time with people on the phone. I'm usually on and off the phone very quickly.
How many times do you call somebody before you just give up?
How many times do I call them before I give up?
Yeah, if you can't get them on the phone, you try them. How many times?
I'll call them different times a day for a few days, and then I might post date it a week.
Okay.
And then post date it 2 weeks, and then finally give up.
And then give up. Okay.
You're not going to get a hold of everybody.
No, and we know that.
Craig, it's Gil. Let's do another role play.
Okay. Who do you want to be?
Let's do an over the net, and you'll be the prospect.
All right, go.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, may I speak to Craig, please?
He's not here. This is his wife. How may I help you?
When do you expect Craig back?
He's away for a week.
Oh,
Who's this? Who's calling?
It's Gil Sabo calling from Coldwell Banker. I'm just responding to Craig's request for an over-the-net home evaluation. Are you folks looking at making a move this spring or summer?
It's news to me.
Okay, so Craig's going to be back in a week or so. Good time to follow up then.
I guess so. You'll have to talk to him. I didn't know anything about this. Who did you say this was?
Sabo calling. You just shot me right out of the water, buddy.
Well, did you guys ever get that?
Oh yeah.
Where you talk to the other spouse and I go, well, it's news to me.
How do you handle that? Handle that, Craig?
Well, I handle it the same way. I would talk to I would talk to the spouse though, just as if it was the guy that you're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would just say, look, your husband emailed me for an online evaluation of your house. Are you thinking of making a move? And go through all the same questions.
All right.
Now, if she doesn't know anything about it, it either means he doesn't want her to know about it or they're really not doing anything.
Quality prospect. All right.
Craig?
That's pretty much what we do.
Craig?
Let's go ahead.
This is Alice Guthrie. I work with Jim McLean.
Hello.
How are you? I'm fairly new at this. I've been doing it about 3 weeks. And I've been setting a lot of appointments, had decent luck, but, as far as them showing up and so forth. What I need to know is, a lot of times they think that I'm the agent. So what I'll tell them is that, the agent will make some contact with them prior to the appointment. Now, should I be doing that or?
We don't do it that way. Let's go to my inside sales. Who do they think? I know sometimes they think they're meeting with my guys as well. How do you guys handle that?
We.
Andy, Gord?
Actually, Craig, this is Gord. I actually let them know once I've talked to them a bit and we've got into some details that we work in a team concept here, and explain the benefits of having two bodies working for them, and they will be meeting with an agent that I've set them up with. I don't let them presume that they'll be meeting with me, and I'm not sure if everyone will agree with that as the best strategy, but that's what I end up doing. I explain the team concept to them and sort of tell them the benefit of that and tell them who they'll be meeting with.
Okay, so they know exactly which team member to expect.
Yeah.
Okay, when I'm making the call, I'll use the language, we'll see you Thursday night at 7. I don't say me, I say we. Carol, what do? Do you tell them exactly who they're going to be meeting with, or do they think they're going to be meeting with you or I?
98% of the time they know who they're meeting with. I always use the words we throughout the entire conversation. If it's a quick phone call and I've got an appointment, I haven't had time to get into big things with them, and I don't want to ruin the appointment. So those 2% will think they're meeting me. The agent deals with it when they get there, just like they deal with when they think that you are coming to do their CMA. The agents are really good at dealing with that.
I guess what I was talking about too is more importantly is for when the buyers are coming here to the office, they need to know who they're meeting with. So when they walk into reception, they can say, "Hey, I'm here to meet, John or Jim or something like that," versus going to the house.
And do you guys do you ever get any resistance? I want to meet with Craig.
Yes, I've had that. Why isn't Craig coming?
Right, and either I'll have to call them or I'll have to actually show up. If I can't handle it.
I've also had people ask if you even exist. It's just is Craig Proctor a person or an entity? And
he's
just
both.
Talk about how that's yeah.
Hey, Craig, Lee Pepper. Now I've got a question for you. Your inside salespeople, it sounds like, are actually appointing the leads to specific agents. If they can tell the prospect who they're meeting with, obviously they're doing that. Catherine's not doing that anymore?
Those leads will go over to Catherine during the week. On the weekends, when we're not around, they'll hand them out. But what we're going to do is we're going to tell them that one of our partners are going to be there. And I don't know, how do you handle that, Carol, if they ask for a specific person?
Yeah, if they don't ask for anybody, I just see who's available. On the weekends especially, it's just who's available. Sometimes when you're booking an appointment early in the week, I just let Catherine know who I've given it to so that she knows about distribution for the rest of the leads through the week.
Like when it's me, I'll tell them.
But if they ask who's going to be doing it, you have to tell them the name.
Mm-hmm. So even if it's not a weekend, if you get asks specifically, you'll make a decision of who's going to do it and give them a name?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, and would you go to their daytimer first to make sure that person's available?
That's right. My first choice of agent because I'm listening to this person and I'm looking at the area that they live in and the CMA that's going to be involved and the work that's going to be involved, and I'm picking the agent accordingly. If that agent isn't available, I have to go to number 2, number 3, and then sometimes because it's a specific guy that is going to need extra something or other that maybe John Carson can handle more easily or better than somebody else or have more patience with than somebody else, then I will try to change the time with him to suit John's daytimer right then and there while I'm on the phone.
Yeah, and because you've been with us for so long, you've got that experience of knowing who to match who up with. Where Andy, you're pretty new at this, so I mean that's something that you'll learn is who would be the best people to match up with the best leads. What I say when I'm on with somebody is I'll say, if they say, well, is it going to be you? If they nail me on that, I'll say, well, it'll be one of my partners. And sometimes they'll say which one, and I'll say I really need to check to see who's available. I try not to answer that. If they absolutely want to know, sometimes I'll say, well, could you call me back and let me know who I'll expect? I'll say, well, hold for a second. Then I'll just flip over to someone's daytimer and see who's available, and then let them know exactly who it's going to be.
How about saying instead of it's going to be one of your partners, it'll either be me or one of my partners?
Yeah, I've done that before too.
Hey, Craig, can you hear me?
Yep.
This is David again with Jeff Thompson's team out in Sonoma County. What I have found, and I've been in the telemarketing in for a while, but what I've found typically is once I get them to the point where they're going to commit to the appointment, then I explain what I do for the team, and that what my job is to follow up on all the internet inquiries and then to help to position them with the best team member. And I don't find anybody that really resists me at that particular point because they're really looking for the best person to do the best job.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, do they make any other contact with the, the person prior to the appointment? I know you guys have a lot of leads, but I mean, when.
Okay, do we call them to remind them of the appointment?
Or
because
to qualify them
yeah.
more or something?
I do not. Carol, Gord, Andy, do you call them ahead of time to confirm or requalify them?
Depends on when the appointment is. If it's a ways off or something like that, then I will, but.
Yes, I confirm. If it's over a 5-day period for a first-time buyer, that's too long. Because they forget I have to confirm it.
What?
I call them back to confirm the appointment. And in the meantime, if I'm shaky about their financing, I'm not sure that they've got it together, I'll have our mortgage person call them in between. And if he calls me back saying they're a no-go, then I'll phone and cancel the appointment.
Thank you.
Good job.
Do you ever have the buyer agent call?
No. They have to stay out of it because
they will mess it up.
They'll mess it up.
They'll just mess it up.
Even just to say I'll be meeting with you or whatever.
No, we try to take all that away from the outside sales agents.
What I do though is when I notify the receptionist at the RE/MAX office to let them know that so and so is coming in here today, and they're going to ask for me. The ones that I haven't been able to tell them the whole situation, and tell them to send them right up to Craig's office as soon as they come in and notify me, buzz me. And then we're both me and the agent are there.
I was reading Frank's notes a week or so ago, Carol. I set him up an appointment, and this guy on the phone, he just wanted to know who was going to come, and I think I said it'll either be myself or Frank. So Frank shows up, and he called Frank me. He called Frank Craig, and Frank corrected him, and then he said it happened about 2 more times, and Frank corrected him each time, saying, no, actually, I'm not Craig, I'm Frank. And then finally, he just let him call him Craig for the rest of the night. So the guy listed with this, and he thinks he did list with me, but it was Frank.
I know. I've called people back and said, Frank was there to see you, give you a price on your home 2 months ago. And she said, no, that Craig was here.
We need Craig
Oh,
mask.
okay. Yep, Craig was there.
Whatever.
Right? You're right.
Hey, Carol.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys ever confirm appointments for buyers to keep, to see if they're going to show up?
Yes, I do that all the time because we have. I just get no-shows with first-time buyers too many times, so now I just confirm them all.
Okay.
Because I can't waste the agent's time like that.
Okay, look, we don't have much time left here, guys. What are some of the problems that you're having? Can you give me some specific situations where you need help? Maybe it's an objection or a situation where you.
I'd like to know how. Craig, I'd like to know how people handle the situation when somebody says we're looking down the road 6 months to a year, and it's so you put them ahead in your day timer. That's fine, but something to capture them if they change their mind 3 months down the road or 2 months.
Well, we have our Gold Plan newsletter. Okay, we have our Gold Plan mailings. We have our Market Watch newsletter, and that's what we're going to work on with all this Dan Kennedy stuff. Is something that's better than what we have to really reprogram their mind. So if they do slip between the cracks or they do end up taking action before our next scheduled call, that they're predisposed somehow to working with us and they call us.
Let me tell you what I do, and I'll just throw it out there. Those people, I will send an email to them saying that I will call in 6 months or whatever. And then I'll also say if you see any properties that are interesting to you on the MLS, please forward the MLS number and I'll send you a detail sheet.
Now,
what do you think of that? Is that a good idea to keep them
I just don't think they will. I mean, I've tried to do that earlier in my career, and I don't know, maybe you guys can comment on that, but I've gave them that speech before. Hey, if things change and you're gonna buy or sell earlier than this 6 months that you've quoted me, make sure you call me about any house you want information on. And I don't know, I don't know how much impact that has.
I've had fairly good response where they have asked for some MLS listings, but I don't know how. I'm new at this, so.
Well, you got to be careful with that too. You could be emailing them all kinds of information, but when they're ready to buy, they do it with somebody else.
That's true.
And the problem is once you start emailing them the information, as you've heard me say, the cow's out of the barn, right? How do you change the rules? So like 2 or 3 months down the road, when they really are ready to start looking, how all of a sudden do you change the rules and get them into the office for the buyer meeting if you're already emailing them all the information?
Well, of course, I'll tell you what I use, and I use the fact that they will be receiving properties from their buyer agents specifically before anywhere from 4 to 2 weeks before they would ever find it themselves.
Yeah, but if you're already sending, you already said you're emailing.
But it may be, but it's already, yes. But those are properties they're finding probably 2 weeks after, or
I know
after
Carol,
it's been listed.
I know, Carol, you have some success of emailing them information from time to time. For example, if it's a seller, it's a future seller, and you see there's a new listing on the hot sheet on their street, you'll email that out to them.
I'll phone them up and let them know this. That there's a new listing. This is a way of keeping in touch with them and keeping your name and face in front of them while they're thinking about making this move, so that they appreciate that so much, that information, that they call you when they are ready to get at it. And that's a little thing that you say once again to them. By the way, when you're ready to really get at this, be sure and give me a call. I'll send you an overview of all the listings that are in your price range and area that you're looking for. And they like that. Oh, you mean I get a free list? And that's when they call back for that free list, then you can nail them for the appointment too.
Yeah. Carol, it's Gil.
Yeah.
Carol, do you do that just as a like if you're scheduled to call them in 90 days, would you just, before you call them, look and see if there's something new in their neighborhood? Or
yes,
do you have something?
Yeah. That's
you don't
exactly
have some system? Okay.
That's exactly. I get on Treb first, and then I call them. And you wouldn't believe how many times there has been something just listed or just sold within the 2 days or 3 days that I'm calling them.
Okay, but let me be clear on this. If you sent out all that information and you're a really good person sending them all that, but you're not calling them, I mean, it's the phone call that's most important, because the sending the information out is great, but would they call us without the phone calls?
No.
Right. So, I don't want anybody on today's call to be merely an information provider, and you're emailing them this and that, and you're doing a great job. It's, that phone call is critical, because, there have been situations where we've sent people all kinds of information, but we haven't got their commitment. And ideally, you want to get them into the office as soon as you can and get them signed up.
Hey, Craig, it's Lee. I've got a problem, if you could spend a minute on it. We programmed our own home hunter service because we just couldn't get it any other way with our MLS, so we spent, time creating this software piece. Now what's happening is we're getting tons and tons of people backing up because we're not putting them on home hunter until after an agent has contacted them and either signed them up on a buyer broker agreement. That's the policy in the office. So my question to you is, what do you do with people who you've made the offer to put on home hunter, but you're not able to get to them immediately, or worse yet, they refuse to sign a buyer broker agreement?
Well, that's when your fallback position is going to be: do we still want to work with this person and keep sending them emails and show them some houses? And I really leave that up to our inside sales and our outside sales, to their discretion as to who they're going to continue working. But what we're really going to try to do is get as many people to do it the right way and get them into the office and get them signed up. But I know, Carol, there's situations where you do a good job, you say all the right things, but the buyer absolutely won't agree to come into the office, and you may decide to send them some information for a couple weeks and continue to pursue it if you think it's somebody that's going to do something.
That's right.
I'm specifically talking about the buyer profiling, the homeowner, where they've signed up and said, yes, send it to me, and then we do the follow-up.
We send a how we handle that is if they go to our website and they respond to the the VIP service, we're only promising to send them a snapshot, a one-time email or one-time mailing of what's currently on the market. And that's where we make the distinction. We say, okay, we're going to send you out what's on the market now that matches your criteria, but if you want to get daily updates every day of all the new listings, then to do a good job, we need to meet with you.
But isn't the bait on your website hook, sign up and get, immediate updates of all the new listings that meet your criteria? Isn't that what they see when they're signing up?
No, when they sign up on ours and they go to the VIP page, what we're telling them is we're going to send them a one-time snapshot of what's on the market.
Got it. Okay.
And the same thing with the classified ads. All the ads that we run, what the offer is we're going to send you what's presently on the market. Okay, and we make it's a very important distinction. We'll send you what's there today, but if you want to get daily updates, if you want to get priority access every single day to all the new listings, then to do a good job for you, it makes sense that we get together, we take down exactly what you're looking for, just so we're not emailing you 100 homes every week or missing out on the perfect ones.
So you're not advertising the home hunter service. You're only using that as a hook when you're on the phone with them making the buyer pitch.
Correct. We're advertising a snapshot of the market on the website and in the ads, but not an ongoing everyday. It isn't this. We're not promoting the buyer service in the same way that we promote it on the phone.
Got it. Thank you.
Hey, everybody's speechless. You guys had enough?
Craig, I'm just wondering, Carol mentioned that sometimes when there's a new listing or sale on a street, she phones up a seller to give them an update. It's an excuse to keep in touch and so on. How does Carol keep track of, keep those two things together? Oh, here's a listing. That'll be good for so-and-so. You've got so many leads. How do you remember?
I don't know how she does it. I think she's from another planet. She's superhuman. How do you do that, Carol? You just remember that, I've got a lead on such and such a street?
Yeah, sometimes they've been on my system for 6 or 8 months, and I've come across their name every twice a month for 3 months running. You just remember that person wanted such and such. That's great for those ones. But what I do in the spring market, because there's so many, I have about 25 to-dos on the bottom of my day timer, and I just quickly check because they're hot. As soon as that comes up, that condo and that complex at that price, I have to call them right away because they're going to get in there and do it and buy it. So I have about 25 or 30 of those in the middle of the spring market at the bottom of my day timer every day, and that is the first thing I do before I start even my job is go into the Toronto Real Estate Board listings and match them up to whoever I've got in that bottom 30 people and make sure they're taken care of right first thing in the morning. If there is anything, they get notified immediately.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Carol, just out of curiosity, why wouldn't you put those guys on your homeowner service and have it sent to you?
They are on email, but nobody checks their email every day.
Uh-huh.
They are getting the information.
I think, Carol, your concern is the reason you wanted to phone them right away is what we're afraid is going to happen, Lee, with some of these guys is let's say it's a seller that they're almost ready to list, and Carol's been following up with them for many, many months.
Mm-hmm.
What we're concerned about is if we don't check the hot sheets every day, and the for sale sign 2 doors down pops up on the lawn, they're going to call that agent right away because they're going to want to know what that house is selling for. And now we've got competition.
Understood. My question was, rather than checking the hot sheet every day, why not just enter them into your system so that you get immediate notification the minute something comes up that meets whatever criteria you would normally be searching for on the hot sheet?
Yeah. And that's good, except that there's only one thing that has happened to me in the past. I've been doing this quite a while now, and things have happened like this. He's said to me his max price is $200,000. This thing pops up at $204,900, and it's perfect for him.
Uh-huh.
And he says, "Yeah." So then I've got the other guy who, if it backs onto trees, a park or whatever, call me. Well, one pops up, but it's $25,000 over their list, over their max that they've told us and insisted has to be. And you call them up and just like, I just wanted to let you know this one came up. I know it's over the range you wanted, but do you want to check it out? And who knows, maybe we'll see a price reduction later. They drive by it, they call us up, they buy it. Now we've got their home listed.
Carol,
how many times?
I remember, I don't know if you remember this story. Remember you were working with this cop and you were emailing him information, and I listed the house right next door to me.
Oh, don't bring that one up.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know, it didn't match exactly what he was looking for, and we didn't send this to him, so he didn't know about our own listing, and he became really upset after the fact because it sold in like 24 hours or 48 hours, and he didn't get a chance at it.
Oh, it was worse than that. His best buddy bought it, and his buddy said, "Hey, guess what? I bought a house." And he says, "Oh, where?"
Right.
Really?
And
that's exactly what we're looking for.
And it wasn't like I couldn't say we didn't know about it because I listed it and it was the house right next door to mine. So
yeah.
So you got to be, sometimes when you program your computer with a very specific criteria, it can sometimes work against you and you miss out on something that would have been perfect. So it's better to be, when you're programming your criteria, it's better to be,
General.
a little bit general and not too specific. I guess that's the moral of the story.
Last question. So these are people that haven't signed a buyer broker agreement. Otherwise, the agent would be doing this. This is why you're doing it, Carol.
If I could count on the agents doing it, I wouldn't have to do it.
So he has signed a buyer broker.
He's signed.
You're being their backup.
That's right. In most cases, they've signed. In some cases, they haven't. And I know as soon as I get it, we've got them.
Mm-hmm.
So I will sometimes, and then it's my waste of time if it didn't work out, not their waste of time, because it's such a long shot. And some of these people are like 9 months, and the buyer contract would have expired a long time ago anyway. So, and I don't need the agent messed up in it, because then they expect to hear from their agent, and they're perfectly fine this way. But once the agent's involved, they want to hear from their agent.
See, really, part of what we're going to talk about, everybody next week in Toronto, or the week after, I guess it is the challenge we have is a lot of the leads that we generate represent future business, right? And, there's a problem with booking the appointments too late, obviously, because they list with somebody else. And the other problem is booking these appointments too early, because we find that if we get our agents in there too early, well, Carol, you tell us what happens.
Well, you've booked many appointments, actually, like a year ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago. And they didn't want to list right away, so the agent comes back and says, well, I gave them a price, and I sort of did this and that, and here, follow this up. And they never call them again. Well, when they go to actually want to move and they're going to interview, we're not even part of the interview process. Oh, no, we already know what you guys do. And then try to get an appointment.
We talked about one specifically today, these people in Aurora, Bob and Nancy, right?
Yeah.
Jim was in there how long ago?
A year and a half ago, I think.
A year and a half ago. So I don't know what your outside sales guys are like, but our guys in there a year and a half ago, they're not ready to go. They're not ready to list. Obviously, they're not. They're still not listed yet, but they're going to list now. Carol follows up with them, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to use another agent. We met with your guy, but that was a year and a half ago. Like they don't remember any of what Jim presented, I'm sure, a year and a half ago. But their perception is, they've been there, they've done that, they've interviewed us.
Yeah, we're already spent in their eyes. Yeah.
So this is one of the things we have to figure out is what do we, at what point do we actually book the appointment? When do we hold back? And if we go out to that appointment, they're not ready to list, we need to definitely have a two-step approach here, and we need to be educating these sellers on why we absolutely must be coming back again. And what should be done and said during that first appointment, and what should be done and said during the second appointment. And what materials need to go up between A and B.
Yeah.
And
after that, we'll solve world hunger.
Well, the inside salespeople have a really good feel for when the agent should be making a call, because it can go on for 5 months and the agent hasn't made a call, and that's okay. It's because we've been doing the follow-up. But the inside salespeople know when that agent is time to step in and make a call, and here's sort of what they have to be talking about. And so I've had to send notes over the agent and say, okay, Frank, it's time to make a call here. You haven't talked to them since last April, and she's going to list her house. She bought new. Could you please make a call here, because she needs a little bit of schmoozing from you. Other people don't need that. They're D-type people who say, no, I'll call you when we're ready. Well, this one isn't like that. So I made a point of getting a call, or getting a note over to Frank to make a call, and he did.
So the tag teaming is really important. All right. Well, look, guys, we're way over time here. I hope you guys found this beneficial. I want to give me your feedback. If there's things that you'd like us to do differently on these inside sales calls, email me, and I'm totally open to your suggestions. after all, this program's about you. We already kind of know what we're doing here, so we want to make sure that we're helping you folks become better at this. You've got my email address, clproctor@rogers.com, and I do welcome your feedback, and I do look forward to seeing everybody in Toronto, not this Monday, but next Monday. So a week this Monday, we'll see everybody here. I hope you did receive my email about bringing any of your pre-listing materials to Toronto. So anything that you send out before you get to the listing appointment, and anything that you leave with the seller, if you don't get the listing signed, any materials that you leave after you leave with that seller, we'd like to see those. I'd like you to bring those to Toronto, because this is going to be a big part of what we're talking about. So I want to thank my inside sales people for coming on the call, and everybody else's as well. I hope you enjoyed it, and that concludes today's call.
Yeah, I want to thank Carol. Carol, that was great. Thank you.
Hope it's
Yeah,
helpful.
thanks everyone.